Hello guys and welcome to another episode of scale modeling on my channel. Today I'll be working on 1/28 scale Focker 1 plane from none other than of Manfred von Richthofen, aka the Red Baron. Before I start with the build, let's start with an unboxing. So here they are. All the parts needed to make Red Baron's famous Focker 1. I'm not going to lie, this kit is pretty old. The first tooling dates way back to 1957. There have been some modifications to the original tooling, but honestly most parts in the kit are from the 1957. Here are the wings. There's a top and a bottom part to each set of them. The details are alright, though in some places there is some leftover flash, so watch out for it. Now, here we have a front and a back part for a figure. There are 3 figures in the set, they are detailed, though if you glue them together you can really see the line between the front and the back part. So some filler is needed if you want them to look nice. I won't be working on the figures this build, but I'll save them for the future, so maybe one day I'll finish them. Now here's the prop and some other parts that are tiny. The prop is actually pretty nice, though there is some flash on some places on it, so be aware as well. Here are some wing holders and the landing gear holders. They are very fragile, so be careful. I learned that the hard way. Also here are some engine parts. They are actually nicely detailed, though you'll see them later more closely. See here on the bottom part of the bottom wing it says 1981, so as I've said, the kit is made from bits and pieces from different years. Now onto the fuel stage halves. The cockpit walls don't have much detail, but honestly World War I planes didn't have much inside as well, so honestly I can't really say anything. And here's the last spool. There is some other type of wing holders here, some engine parts, cockpit floor, the tail and other bits as well as the stands for the figures. The stands are sure a nice touch. Also with the spruce some fine black thread is included. It is sure a nice touch that they include it as well, so you don't have to go out and get some as well. It is already packed in there. Now onto the decals. Wait, hold on, let me get them. And here they are. They look alright, they have lots of detail. Now, I'm doing this voiceover after the build and I have to tell you to be extra careful with them. Very slim and they rip very easily. There isn't many, so you'll finish placing them quite quickly, compared to the other things in this build that can take a while. Now here are the instructions. Honestly they are alright. Here we can see some figure and engine assemblies. Then after that we have the cockpit assembly and some steps on how to add some black thread to the fuel stage halves. On the other page we see how to assemble the wings. To be honest, they fit nicely, I can tell you that. Just be sure to add lots of glue so they don't have any cracks between them. Then we have some more assemblies and some guides on where the thread goes. The only thing I have to point out is that they don't say where the thread that goes up is supposed to be glued on the top wing, but I'll show you when the time comes because I figured it out in the end. This 11th step can be a little fiddly, so take your time. There are lots of things to add and they are very fragile, so be careful. Don't mess this up because if you mess something up, it will cost you a lot of time. Now down here we can see how to put the engine and the engine cover as well as the prop onto the plane. And on the last step there are some thread guides. Down here we can see one of the 2 camouflages that are available for this kit. There is on the bottom of this page some other camouflage for the Focker 1, and on the last page we can find the famous red Focker 1 from none other than Red Baron himself. I mean the other camouflage is as well from a Red Baron's plane, it just isn't as famous as the infamous red one. Now, as I'm starting the build, I'll give you some information about the kit. It has 6 spools as you saw and 1 sheet of decals. As we said, parts date to different years, but it is a pretty old kit after all. The kit can be found for different prices, but it should be around $12 to $30 or euros depending on where you are. Now I start the time-lapse by wiping some water off the parts. Be sure to clean your parts in lukewarm soapy water before starting to make them sure there is no leftover grease that was used to release plastic from the presses. If you don't clean it in the beginning, it can cause your paint to not stick to the model, so it could be an issue later on. Now I start my assembly with the engine. It was pretty easy to assemble, though there is a little catch. On the one of the two parts there could be some flash, so remove it so you can glue the engine halves together. I'll let the time lapse play and I'll come back periodically to let you know, guys, if there's something important to know. Here is how the engine looks assembled. Pretty sweet, huh? Well, it sure looks nice, but pay attention to connect these pipes to these pistons so it looks proper. Now I'll continue by painting the engine and preparing the fuel surge parts as well as the cockpit. Here's how the engine turned out. I'm really happy how it looks. I've painted it and then used some black panel line accentor from Tamiya. It really made it pop. It looks really realistic, doesn't it, huh? Now, before I go, I got asked which paints I used before, so I'll use this chance to tell you guys. I used acrylic paints from Mr. Color. They are alright, I'd say. I had no issues with them so far, so yeah, they are okay. Check them out if you want. Yet to stop the time-lapse for a second, as I've said, watch out for the flash. Here it isn't really that visible, though it is present. Also there is some more of it on the tail, so cut it out. Airbrushed some parts, though they'll have more work done on them soon. Take a look, these are the wing holders and the prop. I'll go continue once again. The assembly continues. assembly took so long, this is being recorded on another day. I just wanted to let you know to pay attention to landing gear parts. They are really fragile and they can break easily. Also, these parts that hold the wheel holders don't fit that well, so some work is needed to make them fit. You gotta chop some of the plastic yourselves. Also, same goes for the holes on the wheels. The holders can't fit them, so you have to cut some plastic to make the wheel holes wider, or wheel holders thinner, whatever you think is easier. I'm back once again. So the black thread that goes up from the engine is supposed to be glued here. Just so you all know, the holes are sometimes filled with wires, so you'll need to clean them off it to put the thread through. Also, here's the fully assembled plane. It is ready to be painted. Here it is, I painted the model. Now I'll need to do some touching up later, but it is alright, I'd say. Also ignore the tail, yeah, that part I didn't paint because it is gonna be covered by white decals, so it won't be visible anyways. So it happened, the landing gear legs broke. Little did I know that this mistake would cost me 3 hours and my sanity. It was so hard to make it fit again.
3 hours later.
After that not so minor setback, I'm back at it. I fixed it and I put some clear coat on the whole model using a spray, making the model ready for the decals. Speaking of them, they are really frilly, so be extra careful as I've said before. Also, I'll be weathering the plane after I finish placing the decals, so I'll see you when I finish the whole build. So here it is, the Focker one from Revell in 1/28 scale, fully finished. To be honest, I think it turned out alright. Honestly, I'm just happy I finished it and that's it. Everything that could have gone wrong along the way went wrong. I cut those parts out so you didn't have to watch me fix my mistakes for a while. Honestly, if you really want a Focker one in 1/28 scale, get it. But let me warn you, it will cost you blood, sweat and tears. So what do you guys think about my model? Let me know down in the comments. Subscribe for more, take care, and see you in another video.